The Buddha taught the noble truth to me. I see reality, and with these truths.
Namo Buddhaya, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Very good morning to all of you. Thank you for joining us earlier than the usual time. Today is the first Sunday of the year 2021. Happy New Year. Thank you to all those who have started to wish each other in the comment box. So for those of you who had not, please wish each other via the comment box. To those who are joining us for the very first time, our society's digital team endeavors to improve or have refreshing opening video to our online Dhamma events. We call this segment Voices of Blooms. In this segment, we are featuring talented songwriters or composers, singers, or the groups of Buddhist songs. Just like the previous day, we are playing another beautiful song. Please let us know how you find the song. Today, we would like to introduce to you a young gentleman who had been using Buddhist songs to propagate Buddhism. So today, may I present Brother or Didi Daniel Kok. Brother Daniel Kok is also a self-taught music composer, and he co-founded the Buddhist music group called iGems. He also co-produced the albums featuring some of his own compositions and collaborations with like-minded fellow Buddhist composers and singers. You may say hello to Brother Daniel Kok. Hi, Brother Daniel Kok, Suki Hotu. You are an active singer in this group who are in promoting Dhamma via Buddhist songs. I think many of us would like to know why the song is so widely accepted. Everyone loves this song. How did you come out with such lovely music and the content? That is the lyrics, which is appealing to a wide audience, different age group, and we can all sing along with the lyrics, even to the young children in the Sunday Dhamma school. Over to you, brother.
Thank you. Namo Buddhaya, brothers and sisters. Namo Buddhaya to Brother Chuan. Thank you for a very good question. So to recap from last week, I think when I wrote this song, it was because I was trying to write children's songs. My first few songs were children's songs. And being a Dhamma teacher from SJBA in the 2001 to the 2003, that was my mission, to write songs that children can sing, new songs, right? That are contemporary. So the Dhamma Shines in Me is actually a children's song. It's made that you don't have to remember. It's very short. Message is very clear, very crisp, and easy to sing. Yeah, not a stretch. So when we decided to choose for songs for the first album, for iGem's first album, Cradle in Buddha's Arms, and this song came about, and I said, it's a very short song. It's a children's song. I know it's nice. You want to choose it, but how? So we decided to, you know what? We can repeat the chorus twice. So that's how it was. And later, this song developed into many versions, and one of the versions is like the a cappella version, which you can get in the first album at the end as a secret track. Yeah, so that's how the song came about lah.
The Buddha taught the noble truth to me. I see reality, and with these truths, the middle path I choose. The Dharma shines in me. I'll strive for freedom, for sweet release. In me all craving cease. And so I'm here to share all that I know. The Dharma in us grows. For freedom, for sweet release. In me all craving cease. And so I'm here to share all that I know. The Dharma in us grows. The Dharma that I see, it shines so bright in me.
Life is made up of moments. Moments are all we got. Can you live it truly, fully alive? Can you die to every passing moment, be reborn in each new moment? Can you live each moment with faith and joy?
Wow, isn't that a lovely song? The Dharma shines in me. For those of you who like to ask Daniel Kopp questions, you can type your question or just say hello to Brother Daniel Kopp. And he will respond today or another day. Then, as you notice on the last slide, you can buy the CD from the society, your own society, or you can buy it online or specific songs. Encourage you to play it regularly. Listen to the lyrics. I must tell you is that if you follow the lyrics, you really have a feel of the message there. If you can feel it, so will be for the other people. Oh, yes, you can always play this song during this New Year's celebration, either with your family or just inside your car, a gathering or a sing-along session. It'd be very good to use it during your online Zoom classes of the Sunday Dharma school. It helps to motivate, it helps to attract. So it's not only for children, it's also for the adults. So with that, I will later play this song in my car. Brothers and sisters, please help me to thank Brother or Didi Daniel Cook to be with us. So thank him to have taken so much effort in composing and singing Dharma songs. He has the interest of the children in mind for this song, but I'm sure all adults will also enjoy this song. I enjoy it very much. So for those who like to seek more information about Buddhist song, please visit the iGEM's Facebook for information. Just remind you that every week we have our Sunday Buddha Puja service. To look at the Facebook in your various societies for information. So with that, thank you for joining us in this segment on Voices of Blooms. We will see you again. Goodbye. Goodbye. Namo Buddhaya, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Very good. Happy New Year 2021. Good morning to everyone. I'm very happy there are so many of you already logged in at this time, very early, and you have wished each other in the comment box. Please continue. For those who have just logged in, you may wish each other in the comment box. In order to have clarity of audio and visual, please check on your Wi-Fi. Audio, visual. If you encounter problem on poor audio or visual, it may be due to your Wi-Fi reception. Just check on it. Maybe you can switch on and off on your Wi-Fi device. During the Buddha Puja service, remember to have a calm mind. Please prepare a candle or oil lamp to offer at your altar. Wait for the announcement to light the candle together with Venerable Dr. Dhammapala. To those of you who have just joined us, welcome to our 31st online Sundays Buddha Puja service. We have been organizing this weekly online Puja service so as to give an opportunity to Buddhist devotees near and far to continue with our Buddhist faith and practices during this COVID-19 period. We will later have the lighting of the candle and offerings to the Buddha, followed by the Buddha Puja, Dhamma Talk by Venerable Dr. Dhammapala. Brothers and sisters, let us prepare ourselves by sitting comfortably, relax our bodies, and compose our mind. Let go of thinking about the past and future, and be in the present moment. And with that, I shall hand over to our Puja leader, Sister Anne. Sister Anne.
Thank you, Brother Chuan. Good morning, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Namo Buddhaya. A very happy new year to everyone. Let us now begin with our Sunday Buddha Puja service. With respect, may I invite Venerable Dr. Dhammapala to make the offerings to the Buddha. Good morning, Bhante. Namo Buddhaya. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, you may also light your candles and oil lamps and make your offerings to the Buddha. For the other devotees, let us place our palms together in Anjali position. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. 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 Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, let us pay homage to the Triple Gem. Buddhang pujemi, Dhammang pujemi, Sanghang pujemi. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, together let us invite Venerable Dr. Dhammapala to administer to us the 3 refuges in the 5 precepts. Ahang bante sangsara vata dukkhato mochanataya nisaranina saha pancha silang dhammang yachami anukkahang katwa silang deta me bante. Dutiyampi ahang bante sangsara vata dukkhato mochanataya nisaranina saha pancha silang dhammang yachami anukkahang katwa silang deta me bante. Tatiyampi ahang bante sangsara vata dukkhato mochanataya nisaranina saha pancha silang dhammang yachami anukkahang katwa silang deta me bante.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Panchasila. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Kamesu miccācara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Kamesu miccācara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Suramerayaman japamadatana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Suramiraya macca pamadatthana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Imani pancha sikkhapadani samadhiyami.
Imani pancha sikkhapadani samadhiyami. Imani pancha sikkhapadani samadhiyami. Imani pancha sikkhapadani samadhiyami.
Appamadena sampadeta.
Amabante. Sadhu. Sadhu. Sadhu.
Buddhanusati, recollection of the Buddha. Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavido anotaro purisa dhamma sarati sat Tadeva manosanang Buddha Bhagavati. Dhammanusati, recollection of the Dhamma. Soakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipasiko Opanayiko Pachata Veditabo Vinyohiti. Sanghanusati, recollection of the Sangha. Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. Yadidang Chattari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pogala. Isa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anottarang Punyaketang Lokasati. Chetya Vandana, salutation to the holy shrine. Vandami Chetyang Sabbang Sabbatane Supatititang Saririka Dhatu Mahabodhi Buddha Rupang Sakalang Sada. Bodhi Vandana, salutation to the Bodhi tree. Yasamole Nisinova Sabari Vichayang Akha Pato Sabbanyotang Satang Vande tang bo di pa de pang Ime ete mahabodhi lokanat tena pojita Aham pite namasami bodhiraja namatute Padipa Puja, offering of like. Gana sarap paditena, dipena tamadansina, diloka dipang sambuddhang, pujayami tamonodang. Dupa Puja. Ganda sambarayotena dupena sugandina pujaye pujaniyantang puja bhajanamotamang Pupa Puja, offering of flowers. Vanaganda gunopetang etang kusuma santati pujayami munindasa sripada saroruhe Pujemi buddhang kusume nanena Pungena mettena cha hotu mokang Popang milaya tiyata yidang me Kayo tata yati vinasa bhavang Paniya Puja, offering of flower of water. Adeva setu no bante, paniyang parikapitang, anukampang upadaya, patigan hatumutamang. Asking for forgiveness. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bante buripanya tathagata Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara sadhu sadhu sadhu
Namo Buddhaya, Bhante, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. This morning, we are very pleased to have Venerable Dr. Dhammapala to be first in our Sunday Puja. Venerable Dr. Dhammapala, will be giving the Dhamma Talk with the title, One Little Kind Thought with Great Love, in both English and Mandarin. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, if you have any questions related to this talk, please type your questions in the comment section. We shall invite Venerable Dr. Dhammapala to answer your questions after the Dhamma Talk. Please allow me to introduce Venerable Dr. Dhammapala. Venerable Dr. Dhammapala was born in Kuching in 1970. He was ordained as Upasampada Putku in Wak Chong, Kedah in 1994 under the most respected Chaukun Praraj Dhammatara, who was the chief Siamese Sangha Nayaka in Malaysia. Subsequently, he sought spiritual dependence under the guidance of Bhante Dr. Mahathero. He spent 15 years studying Buddhist philosophy, Pali, and Sanskrit literature in Sri Lanka and Hong Kong. In 2009, he obtained his doctorate of philosophy in Buddhist studies under the supervision of Professor Venerable Dhamma in the University of Hong Kong. After his graduation, he was appointed as a chief editor and spiritual director for the Buddhist Door website, one of the oldest and largest Buddhist websites in the world. In 2010 to 2013, he was a visiting assistant professor at the Center of Buddhist Studies, the University of Hong Kong. He traveled frequently to conduct meditation retreats, Dhamma talks, and also teachings in Malaysia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and China. 各位佛友们，大家吉祥。今天我们很荣幸有这个机缘，请到法护比丘为我们佛法开示，题目是一念天堂，一念地狱。我们尊敬的邀请法护比丘为我们佛法开示。With deep respect, we invite Bhante.
Namo Buddhaya. A very good morning to all devotees who have cultivated with us in the Facebook for Sunday Puja and Dhamma Talk. People don't find happy now because of so much anger, conflicts, and misunderstanding. This morning, we shall investigate the law of nature, the cause and effect of 4 stories found in early suttas about the undesirable consequences that one faced during the ripening of karma in the past. And due to the anger and hatred that bring about the endless suffering in the samsara for life after life. So the appearance of the Buddhas is to change our way of thought. It is never too late for us to transform from our thought of anger to the thought of love, and to make the world a better place to live. So suicide and the grievance are one of the many problems in the society. Namo Buddhaya. 大家守在电脑旁的护法信徒们那参与这一次网上的早上共修弘法活动所以大家早上好。现在的人呢都生活得非常不快乐，那是因为呢这个社会呢充斥太多的仇恨，还有各种的纷争，还有误解。那今天早上呢，我们将探讨早期佛教经典的4个故事的因果关系。那探讨一个呢，因过去这个因果业力的成熟呢，今生所面对的恶果。那也由于呢过去的这个愤怒和仇恨种下的这个恶因呢那也种下了在不断轮回中所受的这个痛苦。因此呢，佛陀的出现呢，也正是这个原因，从愤怒的思想呢可以转变成爱的这个思想 所以一个念头的转变呢，将使我们居住的世界呢，现今会变得更加的美好。所以呢，我用了今天这个题目呢，一念天堂，一念地狱。那现今的社会呢，有很多的问题，那其中包括自杀呢，还有这个冤魂呢，怨恨冤魂呢，是社会上许多的问题之一。There are many reasons that cause suicides to seek death to solve the problems. The main reason is anger and hatred. Whether it is derived from hopelessness or derived from helplessness or from this desperation or for the sake of ending one's suffering or punishment of oneself or others, etc., they are all caused by anger. And usually, the mental process of suicide is dominated by aggrieved mind. The stronger the aggrieved mind is, the lower the realms of rebirth one will be reborn. Killing oneself, commit suicide, is also a kind of killing. If the karma of killing becomes the productive karma, one will naturally be reborn in the unwholesome planes of existence. 虽然呢有很多的因素导致自杀者寻求死亡来解决他们的问题，但最主要的这个问题呢，还是可以归纳呢在一个主因，那就是嗔恨。无论是一个人非常的绝望无助，或者是走投无路，或者是为了解脱痛苦就是了脱痛苦或对自己或对他人惩罚呢，这些都是以嗔恨心为主的。所以通常自杀者呢，临死的心路过程呢，是以嗔恨心为主导。所以呢，一个人嗔恨心越强呢，他投身在这个生存界就会越低所以杀自己就是自杀呢，也是属于杀生的。所以杀生的业呢，若成为这个令生业呢，自然就会投身在这个恶道里去。In fact, most of the people who choose to commit suicide to solve the problems are because of the views of annihilation. And what is the view of annihilation? They believe there's nothing left after death, and all of their problems after death are completely gone. Annihilation views is also a kind of wrong view, which is the 6 heavy karma besides the 5 gravest sin. If the person dies with wrong view, he will for sure be reborn in the unwholesome planes of existence in his subsequent life. 其实一个人会选择自杀呢，来解决问题呢，是因为他持有这个断灭见什么是断灭见呢？他认为人死了呢，什么都没有了。那么死后呢，一切的问题都一了百了了。那所以呢，断灭见呢，在佛教也是一种的邪见。那邪见呢，也是忤逆罪以外的第6种重的业所以持有这个邪见的人在他临死时，假如还不肯放弃的话呢，那他下一世呢，肯定会投身在这个恶道。People who choose to commit suicide generally do not have the understanding of Dharma, concept of reincarnation, or karma or friction in their mind. They don't know that suicide will not solve their problems after death. Instead, more suffering are waiting for them to continue their suffering. If he knows the truth, he would rather suffer in silence for a short time than committing suicide. So regardless whether it is a suicide, homicide, or being wrong accused to die unjustly, because of the grievance before death are too heavy, he will be reborn in hell. And for one whose karma is not serious, he will be reborn as a ugly ghost. 那会选择自杀的人呢，一般上呢，心中都是没有法啊，也没有这个轮回的概念，也没有这个因果的观念啊。不知道呢，其实自杀呢，并没有因为死而得到解决他的问题，反而呢，有更多的痛苦正在后头呢，等着他去承受的。如果他们知道真相的话呢，肯定他宁可呢，会默默的承受呢短暂的痛苦，也不会去选择自杀。无论是自杀，或者是他杀，或者是被人陷害、冤枉而死的人呢，由于死前的这个怨气太重了，所以通常的时候会投身在这个恶趣。那严重呢，可能投身在地狱呢；稍微好命的，可能会投身在这个比较丑陋啊，就丑病的鬼。So in the suttas called Majjhima Nikaya, Kakachupama Suttas, the simile of the soul, the Buddha trained us to become patient in front of all kinds of action related to anger. Even, there is a quote like this, it's from the suttas. Even if bandits were to sever you limb from limb, anyone who had a benevolent thought on that account will not be following my instruction. 所以呢，在这个中部有一部经呢，叫做《句子比喻经》里面佛陀呢有一段给比丘的这个教法佛陀说：诸比丘，即使呢强盗一把这个锯子呢，很残忍的逐一的锯掉你的肢体，任何因此而于心中怀恨的人即是没有实行我的教法所以这里可以看得出来，佛陀教导我们要学习忍辱忍辱。This is indeed hard to bear such an anger. We know that the Buddha's teaching is entirely work for the welfare and happiness of his disciple. That is why the Buddha trained his disciple. There should not be any trace of hatred in the mind when faced with torturing. It is just an experience of short physical pain before death. So, however, if a person with great resentment in his mind, not only he suffer physically and mentally before death, but also he will suffer reborning in the miserable planes of existence and continue his suffering there, life after that, life after life. 这是非常不容易的面对承受的事情所以我们知道呢，佛陀他开示这部经的用意呢，其实就是完全为了弟子们长久的利益和安乐着想。因为呢，当一个人被他人折磨谋害到死的时候呢，若内心没有升起一丝嗔恨的话呢，他只是在临死前短暂承受身体的这个痛苦。但倘若呢，他内心的升起这个怨恨的话呢，不止他在临死面对身心的痛苦呢，那也因为呢这个嗔恨心而投身在这个悲惨的生存界呢，而继续的在那里承受痛苦。So when a person dies with anger, if he is lucky enough, he will be reborn as an ugly ghost. No matter what kinds of grievance were wrong to death, regardless of whether this ghost harm others or not, whether they attach to others' body in order to torture them or not, the first person to suffer the pain is himself. So it's just like a person. When he picks up the hot coals in his hand and throws at others, the first things that burn must be his own hand. So in the Kodana Suttas of Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha listed 7 things that please and assist an enemy And what 7? First, enemy wished for an enemy if only they become ugly. It means that the enemy wished their enemy ugly to become ugly. So why is that? Because our enemy does not like to have a beautiful enemy. 所以当一个人呢怀着这个嗔恨心死亡的时候呢，假如他很幸运的能够投身在这个假如他很幸运的没有投身在这个地狱呢，他会投身为这个鬼，那他将是我们说他投身为鬼，那将是一个非常丑陋的鬼哈。所以无论是被人冤枉害死的什么冤魂也好啊，无论这些鬼有什么害人的能力也好，能伏在他人身上折磨人也好，那第一个受到嗔恨所带来的痛苦呢，肯定就是他自己了。那就好像一个人呢，手拿着这个炎热的这个火炭呢，投向他人的时候呢，无论火炭有没有伤到其他人，首先呢，伤害的肯定是他自己的手。所以刚才so we have looked at 7 things, okay, that the enemy wished for an enemy. So the second one is wish the enemy, okay, sleep badly, okay, and the third enemy wish their enemy don't get all they need. The fourth enemy wish the enemy not wealthy, okay, poor, become poor. Fifth, enemy wish the enemy not become famous. And enemy wish your enemy not to have friends, no friends, okay. And 7, enemy will wish the enemy, okay, when their body break up, okay, wish the enemy. After that, they will reborn in a place of loss, a bad place, the underworld or hell. 所以刚才我们看到呢，7种就是敌人呢会希望他的敌人什么事情呢？就是第二他会希望他的敌人受到痛苦躺着痛苦那第三呢，他也会希望他的敌人拿不到他所要的。第四呢，他也希望他的敌人不会发达没有钱财穷困潦倒。那第五呢，他也会希望他的敌人不会出名，没有名誉名誉扫地那第六呢，他也会呢希望他的敌人呢没有朋友第七呢，他也希望他的敌人身体呢在他死后之后呢能够投身在这个恶趣。So if we respond to others, okay, or so-called enemies with hatred, we are trapped, okay, or we are caught in the trap of the enemy, because death accompanied by hatred will cause one to be reborn in evil planes of existence. So by responding to the angry enemy with the same anger, we are worse than the enemy. Is it worth to be born and suffered in the hell because of the enemy? So a wise man will reflect on the disadvantages of anger and will not be a slave to the anger. So really, we must learn to endure humiliation, use karma as a teaching, and we are the heirs or inheritance of our past karma, so that through loving kindness, we should be able to eliminate our past karma, and more importantly, stop being slave to the anger. 若我们怀着这个嗔恨的心来回应他人就是我们的敌人，其实呢我们是中了敌人的这个圈套了，因为呢怀着嗔恨心死亡呢将会投身在这个恶趣所以通过以相同的这个嗔恨来回应呢发怒的人呢其实我们比那些发怒的人呢来得更加糟糕，因为我们中了他的计那么其实为了敌人而投身在这个地狱受苦呢，其实问问自己值得吗？所以呢一个智者有智慧的人呢，他会审视嗔恚的过患 那不做呢这个嗔恚的奴隶。那真的我们要学习忍辱啊，要学习慈悲，那以业来劝解自己，不要再做嗔恚的奴隶啊。那我们是过去世的继承者，唯有透过这个忍辱啊、慈悲啊，才能断除这些愤怒呢所造成的这些恶业。Many people die every day, and there are many causes of death. Accidental death from the car accidents, accidental death from works, or death from natural disasters, or death from fire, pandemic, or death from serious illnesses, or drowning, murder, or suicides, etc., etc., or death from the religious conflict. So in these modern times, people are really dying naturally. And we used to hear these kinds of news, that something like that, a female or college students was disfigured and murdered with hatred and dressed in red clothing. So in the traditional Chinese culture, red is a symbol of auspicious prosperity. So, but why red is used in funerals? That is because it's originally coming from the ancient legend. It says, a departed one dressed in red clothing will be manifested into a ghost, so that the departed ones who die could avenge the murderers and reborn early. So this is what our Chinese believe. 所以呢，每一天呢，有很多人死亡啊，那死亡的原因也很多。那包括有车祸的死亡啦，有工作意外的死亡啦，当然天灾人祸的死亡啊，还有严重患上这个疾病啊，或者是我们说现在的这个 COVID-19 也很多人死亡啊，那乃至我们说也很多死亡由于这个宗教的冲突等等等等。所以我们说在这个年代啊，那也很少人呢其实是寿终正寝就是自然死了。所以我们来看这一段经常会在报纸上或者是新闻看到，就是说什么女生被毁容、被残杀被奸杀或者是含恨红衣入殓那其实呢，红色呢，在我们的华人传统文化呢，象征着吉祥兴旺。那为何呢？红色会用在这个丧事里呢？原来呢，在古代我们华人以前有个传说，就是中文叫做系红入殓化厉鬼系红入殓化厉鬼。那这象征什么呢？就象征这个人死亡横死的这些死者呢，能够向这个凶徒报复那么也早已呢了愿投胎所以这是我们华人一般的这个传统。So we shall learn these 4 stories that happened in the times of the Buddhas. And these stories are quite similar to the news mentioned earlier, to dress the deceased body with red dress in coffin. So which is worth our deep investigation. And later we will understand the consequences why to put dead body with red dress in coffin that bring endless undesirable consequences to the death and their families for life after life. So this first story is found in the Udana. It's called Bahia Suttas, and it's a discourse about Bahia. So it says, the Sutta, it says that a group of businessmen went to sea for business on the boat. Unfortunately, they encountered a big storm. Except for one survivor, all the others died. The survivor grabbed a boat and drifted to the shore of Suparaga. Seeing he was not clothed, he covered his body with a piece of tree bark. Begging on the side of the road with a broken bowl in his hand. Some passerby gave him some food, and some people think that he is a saint and pay tribute to him. Some people gave him clothes, but he refused to wear on the cloth. Okay, so some people say he might an arahat, and he enjoys it too, of course, and therefore people call him Bahia Daruchiria, which means one who wears the 3 bucks. Okay, so one of his former blood relative had already been reborn in the Brahma world. So one day, when he saw that his friends from a past life had such an idea, so out of compassion, he came down to look for him at night and told him, Bahia, you are not yet an arahat, and you do not have the qualities of arahat. Then the 3 buck wearers, okay, reply, I admit that I am not an arahat, but is there really an arahat in this world? So the Brahma god told him that there is an arahat in the city of Shravasti, and who is fully enlightened, and he is a Gautama Buddha. So after hearing the words of the Brahma god, the bug wearer hurriedly set off to Shravasti city to find the Gautama Buddhas. So when he arrived in the city of Shravati, he found that the Buddha was begging for alms with a group of monks. So he respectfully approached and asked the Buddhas, let the Buddha preach the Dhamma to me for my benefits and happiness for a long time. So the Buddha replied to him thus, it is wrong time for you, Bahia. We have entered among the houses for alms. But the 3 buck wearer once again begged the Buddhas to preach him Dhamma, and the Buddha rejected him again. So the 3rd time, the buck wearer begged the Buddhas for Dhamma and said, but it is hard to know the Blessed One, the dangers to the Blessed One's life, or the dangers to my life. So let the Blessed One preach the Dhamma to me for my benefits and happiness for a long time. So at that time, the Buddha knew that his heart, had calmed down and he could realize the Dhamma. So the Buddha stood on the roadside and said to him, in that case, Bahia, so this is a quote from the sutta, you should train yourself thus. In what is seen, there must be only what is seen. In what is heard, there must be only what is heard. In what is sensed, there must be only what is sensed. In what is cognized, there must be only what is cognized. So this is a way, Bahia, you should train yourself. Such a very short, the message. And since for you, Bahia, in what is seen, there will be only what is seen. In what is heard, there will be only what is heard. In what is sensed, there will be only what is sensed. In what is cognized, there will be only what is cognized. And you should know that this is a function of the mind. So when the buck wearer listened to the Buddha's teaching, very brief, he realized arahatship on the spot because of his parami had matured. So he asked the Buddhas to let him join the Sangha, and the Buddha told him to prepare robes, bows, and other necessities for himself as a monk. However, as he was working to prepare this item, he was attacked to death by a bull that reincarnated from an evil yaksha. So when the Buddhas and the monks came back after working for alms, they found the body of the bark wearer on the roads. So Buddha ordered the other monks to cremate his body and make a memorial mourn for him. When returning to see the Buddhas, the Buddha told the monks that the bark wearer had attained nirvana and was the fastest disciples attaining arahatship among the disciples. So this is the first story. 我们来看故事，第一个故事就是了解就是佛陀时代有4个发生在佛陀时代的故事。那这些故事呢也以这个刚才看到的这个课题呢，就弘毅入列呢，也非常的相似，那也非常的值得我们深思那之后呢，我们就会了解到底呢，弘毅入列呢，会为亡者及家属呢带来怎么样的后果？ 那第一个故事呢，就是有一群商人，那乘船呢出海经商啊，那不幸的遇上了这个大风浪，那除了一个人还生还之外呢，其余的都已经全部丧命啊。那这一个生还者呢，就抓住了一把这个木板啊，那就漂流到这个岸边啊。因为他身上呢没有衣着，所以他就有一片树叶呢遮住了他的身体。那其实他手上拿了一个破碗啊，就是在路边行乞，就是行乞。那有些路人呢就施舍食物给他，那有些人呢认为他是圣者呢，也向他致敬啊。那有些人给他衣服穿，可是他都拒绝了，因为他怕呢穿上衣服之后呢，人们再不会对他产生这个恭敬和供养了。那当然也有人说他是阿罗汉那其实他也乐在其中。那因此呢，人们称呼他为 Bhante Dr 意思就是说穿树皮的这个修行人那在他过去某一世同修这个饭友就是修行者呢，那他已经投身在这个梵天界了。有一天呢，他的朋友在这个就是放生在天界的这个朋友呢知道他这个穿树皮的那个朋友有这样的想法呢，他就在这个夜间呢下来找他，然后就告诉他这个朋友巴希尔呢，你其实不是阿罗汉况且你还没有阿罗汉的素质。那这位穿树皮的这个修行者呢就回答，他说我承认我不是一个阿罗汉，但究竟呢这世界上有没有阿罗汉呢那梵天神呢就告诉这个修行人呢，在王舍城有一个阿罗汉他是一个圆满的觉悟者呢，他其实就是乔大摩佛陀了。那听了这个梵天神的话呢，那穿树皮者呢就赶快的启程前往舍卫城去拜见佛陀。当他抵达这个舍卫城呢，他发现佛陀呢和一般比丘正在托钵那其实他就非常的恭敬呢，上前请求佛陀呢为他说法。那佛陀呢知道就是这位穿树皮的人呢刚长途的跋涉而且发现他内心呢还不能真正了解佛法呢，所以佛陀就拒绝他了但这个穿树皮的人呢再次的请求佛陀为他说法呢，佛陀也再次的拒绝。那第三次呢，这个穿树皮的修行人呢又在祈求这个佛陀为他说法那这次他说了，他说世尊一个人无法知道就是你我生命的危机，所以请求你为我说法吧这时呢佛陀知道呢他内心呢已经平静下来了，那也能够体悟这个法了。于是呢佛陀就一般上佛陀不会站在路边了，这次呢佛陀知道他觉悟的这个机缘也到了，所以佛陀呢就站在这个路边为他开示这个开示非常的简短那也很有意义的佛陀说巴希尔当你看一样东西时，你知道你所看到的东西当你听到声音时，你知道你所听到的声音。当你尝到或者是闻到触到一件东西，你知道你所尝到或者是触到的东西。当你在想东西的时候呢你也应该知道那个心，你也知道那个是心的这个作用那当这个树皮者呢听完佛陀的这个简短的开示之后呢，那当然也因为他的这个过去世的波罗蜜成熟了，所以呢当场他就证了这个阿罗汉果了。所以呢他就请求佛陀允许他加入僧团。那佛陀呢就吩咐他你要准备这个袈裟啦，准备这个钵，还有其他比丘所需要的这个必需品。但是呢就在他准备这些物品的这个途中呢，他被一只这个夜叉，就是化身为牛的这个夜叉呢给撞死了。所以呢当佛陀和比丘进食完毕回来呢，发现 这个穿素皮的这个修行人的尸体了，所以佛陀就吩咐呢其他比丘将他的尸体火化，然后将骨灰呢供奉在这个塔中所以佛陀呢回到这个紫岩指述给孤独园时呢，佛陀就告诉一般僧众，那位穿素皮的比丘呢已经证得涅槃，而且呢佛陀特地讲明，他是在他众弟子中呢证悟阿罗汉果最快的弟子。这是第一个故事。Then the second story is from the Majjhima Nikaya, is the exposition of the elements. It says that once the Buddhas went to the capital Magadha for a tour and asked the pottery maker to stay for one night. And the potter said, "Master, if you don't mind, there is already a monk in the pottery house who has come first. If he has not any objection, you can live with him." So the monk who stayed in the pottery house is Pukusati, who has long admired the Buddhas and became a monk. So after the Buddhas entered the pottery house, he said to Pukusati, "Bhikkhu, I want to stay here for one night. Do you agree?" Then the Pukusati replied, he said, "Friend," replied to the Buddha, said, "Friend, I don't mind. This room is very spacious, so you can choose a place, any place to sleep." So therefore the Buddha stayed with Pukusatis in the pottery house that night. So then the Blessed One spent most of the night seated in meditation, and Venerable Pukusati also spent most of the night seated in meditation. So the Blessed One thought, this bhikkhu conduct himself in a way that inspired confidence. So I shall ask him a question. Then the Buddha asked him, "Under whom have you gone forth, bhikkhu? Who is the teacher and whose dhammas did you profess?" Then the Pukusati replied to the Buddha, he said, "Friend, there is a recluse Gautama, the son of the Sakya, who went forth from a Sakya clan. Now a good reputation of that Blessed One has been spread far and wide, and that Blessed One is accomplished, fully enlightened, perfect in true knowledge and conduct, sublime, knower of words, incomparable leaders of person to be tamed, teachers of God and humans, and enlightened, blessed. So I have gone forth under that Blessed One. The Blessed One is my teacher. I profess the Dhamma of the Blessed One." So the Buddha said again, "Bhikkhu, where is that Blessed One now living?" Then Pukusati replied to the Buddha, he said, "There is, friend, a city in the northern country called Savatthi. The Blessed One is now living there." Then the Buddha said again, he said, "Bhikkhu, have you ever seen the Blessed One before? Would you recognize him if you saw him?" Then Pukusati replied, said, "Friend, I have never seen the Blessed One before, nor would I recognize him if I saw him." Then the Blessed One thought, "This man has gone forth from the home life into homeless under me." So the Buddha taught Pukusati the Dhamma, and his doubts are completely purged away. Then he thought to himself, the Pukusati, thought to himself, "Indeed, the teacher has come to me. The sublime, the Blessed One has come to me. The fully enlightened one has come to me." So he quickly rose from his seat and bowed to the Buddhas and begged his forgiveness for not having paid him due honor, that he had just called the Buddhas a fellow friend and begged to renounce. Then later on, he begged to renounce under the Buddha's guidance. So again, the Buddhas consented him and asked him to prepare bowls and robes. So on the way, Pukusati was killed by a cow again. And the Buddha says, when he died, Pukusati was an anagami. Okay, anagami is a third sainthood, and had been born in the pure abodes and will attain final nibbana there without ever returning from that world. 那第二个故事呢，讲到有一次呢，佛陀在这个摩揭陀国那么在首都这个王舍城油画，那向这个陶器制作师傅呢要求借住一晚。那么陶匠说他说：“世尊我无所谓，但陶屋里呢已经有一位出家人呢已经借住了，如果他没意见的话呢，那你就随便吧所以那位先在这个陶器这个制作物借住的那位出家人呢， 其实正是仰慕佛陀而自行出家，穿着比丘服的尊者的名字叫做布古萨提。那佛陀进入之后呢，就对已经在屋子里住的那位布古萨提比丘说：“比丘我想在这里呢借住一晚呢，你同意吗？”那么这个布古萨提就回答了，他说：“道友就是 friend 就是朋友，我无所谓这屋子很宽敞，你随便选个地方睡吧于是呢，佛陀那晚呢就在那间陶器的制作物里面，就以这个布古萨提呢同住在一间屋檐下。那当晚呢，这个布古萨提比丘呢就跟着佛陀坐禅到了很晚。那他这样好的这个我们说禅坐的这个耐力也引起了佛陀的关注。佛陀就问他比丘你的老师是谁你是跟谁出家学的那这个布古萨提就回答说：“朋友那这个释迦族的这个沙门瞿昙这个达玛瞿昙呢是我的老师，我是跟他出家修学的。”那佛陀回答说：“比丘，你有没有见过他？”那布古萨提回答说：“没有。”那世尊又在问了：“如果你遇见他呢，你认得他吗？”那么这个布古萨提回答：“我不认得，但世尊是值得供养的圆满的觉悟者那真理的正当的这个事件者就是佛陀他就这样子来说就是说佛陀是他的这个老师啦等等等等其实就是因为他仰慕佛陀呢很久了所以呢他就依佛陀出家其实那佛陀心想呢，那么这位这个善男子呢，其实也因为仰慕我很久而出家，所以我应该要教导他所以佛陀呢就为这个布古萨提呢讲法那听完这个佛陀讲法之后呢，布古萨提呢就我们说他远离了这个尘垢，那也就证悟了这个第三果这个圣者。那么这个布古萨提这个比丘呢他心里想，他说眼前的这一位呢肯定就是我仰慕已久的老师了那一定是世尊了。于是呢他赶紧从座位上呢起来，那就向佛陀顶礼，那并对刚才呢称呼佛陀为道友就是朋友的冒犯呢表示他真诚的这个忏悔，那也期望呢他能够在佛陀的座下呢出家为真正的比丘。那由于尊者这个布古萨提还没有准备好这个比丘所该有的这个袈裟和资具等呢，所以佛陀就叫他准备，结果呢衣和钵还没准备好，在半路呢就给这个母牛呢给撞死了。那佛陀说他死就布古萨提死了，他已经是证得三果就是不来的这个圣者了。Then the third story is from the Udana,the discourse about the leper. And so this is a story of the poor leper named Superbuddha, who one day sitting in the outer circle of people heard the Buddha's teaching and became the Sotapanna, is a stream enterer. So he waited until the departure of the cloud so that he could pay homage to the Buddhas and express his gratitude. Sakka, or Indra, we call, who is the king of the Devas, wishing to test the lepers' faith in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, they appeared to him and said, "You are a poor man, living on what you get by begging, with no one to rely on. I can give you immense wealth if you deny the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha and say you have no use for them." Okay? Then although Sakka reveals his identity later on, Super Buddha's reply, "I'm certainly not a poor man with no one to rely on, but I am a rich man. I possess the 7 wealth which the Arya possess. I have faith, right? Saddha, morality, sila, sense of shame to do evil, hiri, sense of fear to do evil, otapa, learning, sutta, generosity, jaga, and knowledge, panya." So these are the 7 wealth. So he said, I'm not a poor, I'm a rich man because I possess these 7 wealth. Then the Saka, the king of the heaven, he went to the Buddhas ahead, or Super Buddhas, and related the conversation between himself and Super Buddhas. Then the Buddhas replied to the Sakadeva, it would not be easy, even for 100 or 1,000 Sakas, to coax Super Buddhas away from the Buddhas, the Dharma and Sangha. So soon after this, Super Buddhas arrived at the monastery and reported to the Buddhas. So again, on his way back from the Jetavana monastery, Super Buddha was killed, by a cow. So when the news of the Super Buddha's death reached the Jetavana monastery, the bhikkhu asked the Buddhas where Super Buddha was reborn and the Buddha replied to them that Super Buddhas was reborn in the Tawatimsa Devas realms. 所以这个是第三个故事哈，这第三个故事呢，就有一名这个麻风病患者呢，在一个场合里面，他名字叫 Super Buddha， 那他坐在这个群众的外围呢，聆听佛陀的开示呢，就证了这个出果了。于是呢，他就等到群众离散之后呢，就随着佛陀回到寺院啊。这时候呢，有一个天王地释天王啊，他想探视他对三宝的信心，那他就以神通在空中翱翔，那就对他说 ：“Super Buddha， 你还是一个平民，人家给你什么你就吃什么，没有人可以依靠啊！我将会给你很多很多的财富啊，只要你愿意说，佛陀不是佛陀啊，法不是法啊，僧团不是僧团啊。”那么这个麻风的这个病患者呢，就问这个。就回答到他说你是谁啊？那这个 Sakadeva 就说我是天王。那这个 Sakadeva 这个麻风病患者呢，就回答这个 Sakadeva， 他说他就回复他说我不是没有人可以依靠的这个平民那我具有这个圣才圣者呢所具备的这个7种圣才那这7种圣才是什么呢？就是戒、忏、悔、听闻佛法、施与智慧还有包括信那拥有呢这些的这个财富呢不会被三宝佛法僧三宝呢称为这个平民的。那这个地释天王呢听后呢就赶快离去呢，就到佛陀那儿将把他跟这个 Super Buddha 之间的对话呢，就告诉了佛陀。那佛陀呢，就告诉这个第释天说他说 Saka， 即使你有100块金子乃至1000块金子摆在这个麻风病患者的面前他也不可能说佛陀不是佛陀，法不是法，僧团不是僧团所以呢，他的信心呢非常的坚定的所以呢，过后呢 Super Buddha 也来到了这个寺院，那想向佛陀呢讲述刚才他在路上所遭遇的这个故事但是呢，在他回家的就是回去的这个途中呢，他被一只牛呢给撞死了所以同样的这个死讯呢传到佛陀的寺院呢，比丘就问佛陀就是这个麻风病患者呢投生在哪里啦？佛陀就回答他已经呢投身在这个33天去了，就是 Tawatimsa。Then the fourth story is about the royal executioner. His name is called Dhamma Talk. He has served the king for 50 years. And because of his old age, he could not cut off the prisoner head with a single knife. So he applied for retirement. So on the day of his retirement, he returned from the execution ground and ordered his servant to cook sweet milk porridge for him, and then went to the river to bathe alone. So after returning home, when he was about to enjoy the sweet milk porridge, he saw Sariputta's, the Buddha's disciple, coming to his house to beg for alms. So he quickly invited Sariputta's into the house to receive offering and arrange a seat for Sariputta's. Pour the sweet milk porridge into the bowl of Sariputta's. So after the offering, the Dhamma Talk, executioner, stood aside to feign the Buddhas and waited for the Sariputtas to eat. So Venerable Sariputtas spoke to him the progressive teaching after he finished his meal. But he couldn't concentrate on listening to the Dhamma because his heart still thinking of the past when he was the executioner. When Sariputta knew his past, he asked if he was executed out of anger, of hatred, or just performed tasks only. Then the executioner replied that he just accepted the king's order to execute the sentence, and he did not have any malicious intention or desire to kill. Then the Sariputtas, said, in this case, do you feel guilty? So the executioner thought he was not guilty, and his heart immediately calmed down. So when Sariputtas, left, the executioner respectfully accompanied Sariputtas for a while. Then on the way back, he was hit and killed by a calf, manifested by a yaksha. So in the evening, the Buddha came to the place where the monks gathered and they reported the death of the executioner to the Buddhas. The Buddhas told the monk that he had been reborn in the Tushita. 那第四个故事呢，是这样的，就是有一名呢这个刽子手，那他名字叫 Dhamma Talk 就已经为这个国王呢服务了50多年了。那由于他年纪老，所以呢他就申请呢退休了。那在他退休的那一天呢，他就从这个刑场回来，那也吩咐他的仆人呢为他准备一些甜粥什么之类的哈。那么然后呢，他就独自一个人在河里就沐浴哈。那回到家之后呢，正当他要准备这个享受这个奶住时候呢，他看到这个舍利佛尊者来到他的家门前，就是托钵。那他赶快呢请这个舍利佛尊者进屋来接受他的供养。那他也为这个舍利佛尊者呢准备好这个位置，那也将这个甜粥就倒进了舍利佛的钵里面。那供养完后呢，这个刽子手就站在一旁为这个舍利佛尊者善良纳凉，就是善良那也非常无微不至的伺候舍利佛尊者用餐。那舍利佛尊者呢用完之后呢，就为他说法，但是呢他没有办法集中精神因为他的心呢不断的在想着呢，他在过去50年担任这个刽子手呢种种杀人的这个情景那么那佛陀呢那这个舍利佛尊者呢也知道他过去的种种事情之后呢，也就很机敏的就问他，那你呢是出自于这个愤怒或者是仇恨和这个仇恨呢而行呢，或者是为了只是执行这个任务而已呢？那刽子手就回答，我只是接受国王的命令而已，个人并没有任何的恶意或这个恶意之类的。所以呢，舍利佛尊者呢就说，既然如此的话呢，那你觉得自己有没有罪那当然舍利佛呢想一想，他说我自己没罪那这时候呢他心呢就平静下来了，所以就随着这个舍利佛去到他的寺院，然后在他回家的路途当中呢，他也被一只就是夜叉就是化牛，就是化成为牛给撞死了所以呢佛陀知道了，就是黄昏时候呢佛陀就向这个众比丘说，这个刽子手呢已经投身在这个梵天界了。So the above four stories have a very common point. They are all killed by a cow at different times during the Buddha's time, and their deaths are not accidental. So these 4 persons must have done considerable, of course, in the long journey of samsara. Since then, I think that these 4 persons must have done quite a good karma. That's why they were able to meet the Buddhas in the present time. So I think it is worth to investigate this 4 story. Why would they meet such a tragic death? So we must go back, to their past life. 所以以上的这个4个故事呢，人物呢都有一个很明显的这个共同点哈，就是呢他们的下场呢都是给牛给撞死的。那其实他们的死呢不是偶然的啊，原来这个故事还是有前文哈。那他们为何会感召这样子的恶果呢？哈，那我们就得要回去他们过去世的这个因了哈。Then the story goes that in one of their previous lives, the 4 of them were good friends, and one day they took out a beautiful courtesan in the park. Then after dark, one of them had a very evil thought. He suggested to his friend, we might as well kill her when the sky is gloomy, since no one is here, so that we can snatch her jewelry and all her money. Then the other 3 friends also agreed. So 4 of them brutally attacked the courtesan. Okay? 所以其实这个故事呢，就在他们过去很久以前呢，在某一世的时候呢，有4位这个富家子弟哈，他们都是好朋友。那有一天呢，他们聘请了一名这个妓女呢，到公园寻欢作乐哈。那天黑的时候呢，其中一个人呢就升起了这个非常邪恶的这个念头，那就向其他3位朋友说趁着天色阴暗了，没有人在场呢，我们不如把他杀掉哈。这样不仅呢不必付这个赎金也可以占有他所有身上的财宝和他身上所有的钱财。那这3位朋友也听了，就于是呢，这位妓女呢也被这4个人呢很残酷的被攻击死亡Then the courtesan was extremely angry with him, thinking, "You kill me. I want to become a yakshini to kill you for life in the future." So in this way, the courtesan died with extreme resentment. 那这个妓女呢，对他们感到非常的愤怒心想你们杀我我又发愿呢，未来生生世世来做夜叉，向你们索命于是这样，他就抱着非常极度怨恨的这个心死去。那背负着这么强大的愿力呢，他展开就是古往至今的这个复仇之旅那许许多多次呢，他投身为这个夜叉呢，对这4个男人进行报复一次又一次的报复，一直到呢乔达摩佛陀的时代呢，也是如此。So if we put aside this story, if the courtesan did not make a vengeance on the 4 men, the law of nature will sure punish these 4 men. And these 4 men created such a serious crime and formed a bad karma with this courtesan. However, these 4 men continued to purify their mind from life to life until they met the Buddhas. So these 4 men were just, we knew from the suttas, they were the first bearers, the pukusati, the participation, and the executioners. 所以呢，当然我们说，即使呢这个妓女没有发愿对这4个男人呢产生这个报复呢行动呢，那其实我们讲这个自然界的法则也会对他们惩罚的。所以呢，虽然我们说这4个男人因为这个愚痴而造下了这样的恶业呢。也跟了这个妓女呢产生了这么大的这个恶缘呢，那这个4位男人呢，其实也在过去世呢，也不断的在提升他们自己的生命所以一次又一次的不断的净化自己的这个身心那么一直在佛陀的时代呢，也是如此的。所以这4个男人呢，就是我们后来经典讲的四个人，就是第一穿树皮的人，第2个就是菩萨地，第3就是我们讲的麻风病患者，跟第4呢就是刽子手了。所以我们看到呢，这4个故事，so we have seen the first story is about Bahya Daruchirya. He has been liberated from the endless cycle of samsara and will forever end of his suffering. Yeah. 所以这第1个就是Bahya 已经从无始的轮回解脱出来了，那也永远的止息轮回所带来一切的痛苦了。Then the second one, Pukusati will spend the rest of his life in the pure abode where the Anagami lived, and will never come back to this world of sensual pleasure, where he will achieve full Nibbana and be free from all suffering there. 所以第二个情况呢，就是这位布古萨提呢，因为他得证的是第三国，所以呢，他居住在净居天，就是度过他其余在那里的生命，那永远也不会再投生欲界也并在那里呢证得这个无余涅槃解脱这个苦海。Then the third story is the Super Buddhas, is a leper patient, leprosy. He achieved the final liberation after a maximum of 7 cycles in human spheres and in the heaven sphere. 所以这个麻风病患者呢，只有最多7次呢，在这个人天界这轮回流转才就能够证得这个涅槃解脱Then the fourth one, the executioner Dhamma practice of this samatha and vipassana will bring him closer to the Arya path and continue on the path to liberation. 所以第4个刽子手呢，他不断的在修学这个止观禅，也使他更靠近这个圣道果那继续迈向解脱的康庄大道。So these are all the good examples. We say they are moving from darkness to light, and then continue to move from light to light. 所以呢，这些例子我们看到的就是他们从黑暗呢走向光明，然后再从光明呢继续的走向光明的这个很好的这个例子。So now look at this poor courtesan, because she made a vow of taking revenge, and life after life she suffered tremendously. So now she has killed an arahat, an anagami, a sotapanna, and an ordinary person with insight and wisdom. So we say that killing, open the gate, right, of avicii hell for her. Then after her life passed, she would definitely be reborn in the avicii hell, life after life, because she has committed one of the 5 serious crimes, right? Killing of arahat, killing of the saint. Then according to the nature of law, anyone who committed one of the 5 serious crimes in his life will definitely be unable to escape from the falling into the avicii hell. 所以呢，我们再回来看一下这可怜的这个妓女呢。那由于她发愿就是非常很恶劣的、很糟糕的这个愿呢，就是生生世世要报复呢，而她这个报复的这个对象呢，居然是不断要净化的内心的这些圣人，所以呢，她在她的这个轮回路上她每一步呢都是非常的沉重而且呢，这个女的这个妓女也让自己呢越陷越深那不断的把自己呢推向这个水深火热的这个深渊所以现在呢，我们讲这个女的妓女呢，已经杀死了一位阿罗汉，也杀死了3国的圣者，也杀死了1国的圣者，还有1位有官制的凡夫。那我们讲说，杀死了这些圣者呢，这个阿比地狱呢，这个门呢就为他打开了。所以这个是蛮可怜的，因为他造下了这个忤逆罪就是杀阿罗汉、杀圣者。所以其实依照这个自然法律呢，任何人只要在当下造了这个忤逆罪其中一个呢，下一世呢肯定就无法逃脱阿比地狱的这个火焰。So from a secular point of view, this courtesan is indeed very pitiful, and who can afford to tolerate such a resentment in such an unbearable situation? 所以呢，从世俗的角度来看，其实这个妓女呢是非常可怜。那有谁能够呢，在这样的一个难忍的处境之下呢，而不升起这个怨恨呢？So we must admit that in this world, not many people can afford such an unbearable situation. Although it's not easy, but if she has Dhamma in her mind, she can overcome her own anger and can think rationally that she is the inheritor of a past karma. And now there must be a reason for her misfortune. So this is because of the bad karma in the past. So she can think the other way around, that due to the maturity of her past karma, that caused four men to kill her, and thanks them for eliminating her karma. So if she thinks like that, she will not create a new cause of suffering. Perhaps after that, she will be reborn in the wholesome realms of existence and continuously purifying her life from darkness to life. Maybe she will meet again the Buddhists and be able to realize the fruits of the Arya path under the Buddha's teaching and find the ultimate happiness from there on, instead of falling into the Avicii hell. 所以呢，我们必须要承认呢，在这个世界上呢，没有多少人能够在如此恶劣的环境之下呢，还能不起嗔心的。虽然不容易，但如果他的心就是这个妓女的心中还有法的话呢，能战胜自己不起这个嗔恨呢，还能够如理思维自己事业的继承者呢，能遭遇到这样的不幸呢，肯定是有一个因啦那也许是曾经过去所造下什么恶业成熟呢，才导致这4个男人对他的陷害。那其实也可以想这4个男人也帮他消业障那同时也悲悯他们为他们自己造下的这个地狱受苦的这个恶业所以呢，假如这个妓女如此思维的话呢，她就不会在这个苦果成熟时呢，再造新的这个苦因。也许她死后呢，会投身在这个善趣继续提升自己的生命。那从这个黑暗走向光明，说不定呢，还能够遇上了佛陀，并能够在佛陀的教导之下证得这个圣果，从此找到最安稳的快乐，而不是呢掉入这个阿鼻地狱。OK， 所以呢，因为时间的关系我想把这个时间留给这个 question。Okay, so now I leave the session for question. Oh.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much, Venerable Dr. Dhammapala, for the very interesting and very educational talk just now with so many interesting stories. Now it's time for Q&A. I think there are many questions from our members. Shall we have the first question? This question from Sister Eileen Tan. Bhante, can the royal executioner story be compared with a butcher who has to earn a living for himself and the family? I think just now the story that Bhante mentioned about the royal executioner and also attained Arahant after calming his mind, listening to the talk by Venerable Sariputta. In this case, the royal butcher may not have that benefit, but probably he may have a chance to go to a temple to listen to the Dhamma Talk by monk. Will this butcher himself also have this opportunity to attain arahantship or any other sainthood?
Okay, so we talk about the executioners. I think quite similar to butcher because they have no intention of killing, but they just earn their living, earn their livelihood. You see, but of course, from the karma vipaka, cause and effect, you see, surely this executioner or the butcher, they did some karma. They have some karma. Okay, so of course, I think the Buddha also said, right? You have to open the mind, and just like the Sariputtas, gave this the teaching, to let this executioner's mind, to calm down, right? So it's very important. So you said that is there any karma or not? There is a karma, definitely, right? So I think we need the skillful methods to calm the mind down, to let her, knows what do you call, to inspire like Sariputtas, inspire the executioners, minds to calm down, and then make the executioner's mind, full of faith, you see, and let her understand the Dhamma, so to confess, for the bad deeds he did in the past. So I think that need to be guided properly, to see the truth, right? Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Bhante. Any more question? Next question. This question from Sister Tan Kui Ching. She say, if I remember correctly, I read one of the sutta that there's a monk who committed suicide. I'm wondering if this is also due to karma. Bhante.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, according to the Buddha's teaching, everything is due to the karma, isn't it? So, and of course, when we talk about the monk committed suicide, we have to understand what are the circumstances that prompted him to commit the suicide. Yeah, so committed suicide is definitely a form of killing. So it's all, yeah, in fact, making a severe karma, Okay, so, okay.
Yeah, thank you, Bhante.
Okay.
Yeah. Next question, please. This question from Ui Pan Singh. When the courtesan was killed by the four guys, they were ordinary persons, not enlightened yet. So when the courtesan was reborn as a yakini and killed the four guys, they were not yet enlightened, not arahant, not anagami, etc. So how is it that the yakini is considered as having killed an enlightened person?
Okay. Of course, this is a story, yeah. And the yakini, the lady killed the future arahat. Whether it's enlightened or not enlightened, I think that killing a person is already committing a very serious crime. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bhante.
Yeah.
I think we have time for just one last question.
Okay.
This question from Brother William Ng. Bhante, for a criminal who are on a death row waiting to be hanged, can he have a good rebirth from such tragic death?
Everything is due to the karma, isn't it? So, when someone was hung to death, that is also because of their past karma. So I think the karma will decide, his the future destination. Yeah, we put it in that way easier.
If he
Right.
managed to calm his mind also, Bhante, somehow his mind is
Definitely. I think when someone is about to hang, I think our education should, the prisoner should provide some monks to give them the consultation so that they have a peace of mind and responsible for their past action, did in the past, so that probably help them, for their lesser, suffering in their future life, so that helps in a way. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Bhante. Once again, we express our heartfelt thanks and gratitude for Venerable Dr. Dhammapala for the very interesting, very informative, educational, insightful talk this morning, and also the enlightening questions to our questions. Once again, thank you, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu.
Thank you very much, Venerable Dr. Dhammapala, for the Q&A session. It's been very interesting with the questions and the very informative answer offered by the Venerable. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, this morning we have participated in this Sunday Buddha Puja service, listening to Venerable's Dhamma sharing and further understanding through the Q&A session. With the merits accrued, let us invite Venerable Dr. Dhammapala to lead us in the dedication of merits to all sentient beings, families, relatives, friends, and to the departed ones. May they rejoice in these merits. Venerable.
Okay, so I have here a request from one devotee for transfer the merit to the late Yi Peng Hong, who passed away on the 2nd of January 2021. Right, so we dedicate the merit. Patidana. Akasata cha Bummata Devanaga Mahidika Punyang tang anumoditawa Chirang ra kantu loka sasanang Chirang ra kantu desanang Chirang ra kantu mang parang Etawata cha amhehi sampadang punya sampadang Sabe deva sabe satta sabe buddha anumodantum Sapa sampati siddhya. Patidana, transference of merit to the departed relative, particularly to Let Yi Peng Hong. Idang menyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayon. Idang menyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayon. Idang menyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayon. Punya anumodana. Imang no punya bhagang mata pito nancha acharya nancha sapa sata nancha sapa mita nancha sapa nyati nancha sapa peta nancha sapa devata nancha bhajema sabe sata sukita hontum imang no punya bhagang sapa satanang dema sabe sata sukita hontum. Imina punya kamena mame bala samagamo sata samagamo hotu yavane bana patiya. Idang me punyang asavakaya wahang hotu idang me punyang Nibbanas pacayo hotu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Venerable Dr. Dhammapala, thank you very much to be with us this morning, Sunday Buddha Puja service, and the very interesting Dhamma Talk. Brothers and sisters, please help me to thank Venerable and also to thank the organizing and the digital team. Brothers and sisters of Dhamma, before we end, let us pay homage to the triple gems. Dang Puche, Dhammang Puche, Sanghang Puche. To the devotees, thank you. And to all the devotees who had been participating in this online Buddha Puja service, listening to the Dhamma Talk, and stayed until it participating in the transference and sharing of merits. We have now come to the end of this 31st online Sundays Buddha Puja service. Please visit us again next Sunday morning to participate. You may refer to your society's Facebook for the posters on the information. So with that, remember to stay safe, stay home. May you and family be safe, well, and happy, peaceful always. Suki hontu, sabbe sata sukita hontu.
Bahong sahan semabhinim mitesayudantang ngirimi kelang udita Sasene marang dana